Okay, you're at the Watchmen Way. 129:20. God, January's almost over. A couple more days, guys. A lot going on. Um, God called me in 2014. Actually, called me twice. 2014 and about 2 weeks ago. First time was to warn against what was coming. First ever worldwide economic collapse, worldwide draining of the swamp, exposure of the worldwide satanic pedophile ring. Showed me physical silver and Litecoin as ways to protect ourselves against what's coming in the economy, and then to, in the recovery phase of what's coming, the Watchmen with the silver and Litecoin we've been acquiring are going to build the foundation of Jesus's original church 2,000 years ago, called the Way. The Way is the most pure religion I know of. It's all based on doing the right thing. It's all based on us being the church. It's all based on us, on how we live our lives every day. You know, there's no buildings, there's no priests, there's no bishops, there's no pope. We don't send our donations to Italy. We put them in the hands of the needy, ourselves, personally. I put my donation in the hands of the needy every week, whoever that may be. Makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? No division, no conflict. Living your life in the service of others. It doesn't get any better than that. I think I've already said we're gonna get some backlash from Christians, because also, you know, part of this is that, and everything I'm telling you guys, the truth will be known. In this decade, I think within the next couple of years, but within this decade for sure, by 2030, this is all going to be common knowledge. All of the truth that has been withheld from us since Babylon. I'm talking about our history. I'm talking about religion. I'm talking about geology, our earth, our history, how long we've been here, where we came from. We have all those answers. Cures for cancer, cures for virtually every ailment known to mankind. 0 point energy. 0 point energy. Think about that. No more third world countries. Basically, it's producing energy. There's going to be lunch pail sized boxes that you'll put in your house that'll run your house for 50 years. Yeah, they've got the technology right now. 0 point energy. Cars that'll run on water. In the past, they killed all these guys and stole their technology. Well, it's all going to be released. President Trump's going to open the books. We're going to know the whole truth. We got to get there. The good news is that, President Trump is, I'm telling you, I've been doing this now in 1967, I was 12 years old. I knew the Catholic Church was corrupt and our government, elements in our government were corrupt. But God called me, 5+ years ago. So I've been doing this pretty much full time ever since. When I started this and looking at what we had to do, forget about the Catholic Church, just talking about America and our government and the monster that we let them create. it was daunting. I didn't see any way that we could defeat this evil without losing millions of Americans. Millions. Maybe hundreds of millions of Americans. That's where this was headed. If Hillary Clinton was elected, she was going to start a nuclear war with North Korea. North Korea has been run by our deep state for over 20 years. We've been funding and building their nuclear program so that Hillary would have a foe once, because they know China probably wouldn't go for it, or Russia. They wanted something they could control. That's what was going to go down. The military wasn't going to let Hillary take office if she won, but that would have been bloody in itself. They wouldn't have had the nuclear war, or if they did, it would have been short lived because they would have went straight for the jugular. And the only way North Korea could have lasted is if they were letting them last, right? If it's just a staged war to annihilate us, that's what they planned. But if there would have been a military coup, just think about the climate then. The liberals would have panicked. Millions would have died because they would have thought that you can't believe how they scared these liberals. That if President Trump won, we were going to come for him, and we were going to put them in FEMA camps or murder them or whatever. Like conservatives, rule of law, constitutional conservatives would ever do anything like that. I mean, it's absurd, but everything's absurd today in Washington. The whole thing's a sham. President Trump's doing his job. He is using some manipulation in using these economic numbers that he knows are fake because he needs to have that support built up for what's coming, which is everything I just mentioned. And I think it's going to come in a 2 to 4 week period. We're going to get all of that piled on us. The people that are prepared, extra food, extra water, medical supplies, ammo, physical silver, and Litecoin are going to thrive through this. President Trump is on it. I think even the people who aren't prepared are going to survive it. There might be some civil unrest. There might be some rioting. There might be some looting. I think it's going to be minimal. If you get caught in a bad spot, that's life. But I think I don't expect to see big loss of life coming up here in the next year. I think that President Trump will keep the power on, will keep food in the grocery stores, maybe not 100% stocked. And there might be people in certain areas of the country that don't eat every day. But I don't think anybody's going to starve. We'll all get through it. But the ones who are prepared with physical silver and Litecoin for the recovery are going to rock it. Because probably what's going to happen is they're going to have to declare a reset at some point. Just wipe the slate clean. Nobody owes anybody anything. You lose everything you have on paper. Bank accounts, stocks, bonds, annuities, pension funds, retirements, all going. Anything you hold, you're going to own. Your house, you're making payments on, you'll own it free and clear. Your car, you're making payments on, you'll own your car free and clear. All debt's going to be wiped out. But you're going to lose a lot, right? You're going to lose 80% of the value of your home. You're going to lose your pension. You're going to lose your bank account. That's why you have to have assets outside the system. That's why God warned to have physical silver and Litecoin. Again, not only to rocket us, God wants his people to be in control of the financial system this go around. Last go around, evil was in control, and look what they did to the world. They were trying to create hell on earth, and they were this close to being there. It's over now, but now we got to get through this. And listen, there's nothing to fear, guys. It's all good. All of this has to happen. The economy has to come down. The banking system has to be cleaned out. All those CEOs need to go to prison, or some of them possibly executed, because some of this stuff has been treason. The bankers have to be cleaned out. The politicians, the crooked government officials, judges, newscasters, religious figures, on and on and on and on and on. They need to go. That evil needs to be, it's a pope, it's the royal family, the satanic pedophile ring. They're torturing and murdering kids. 800,000 kids a year go missing in America every year. Look it up. It's all coming to an end, guys. It has to come to an end. For us to get the world that we deserve, this has to happen. If it didn't happen, the elite, the satanic pedophiles, the globalists, planned on murdering 7 billion of us. Look it up in the UN website, Agenda 2030. They want a worldwide population of 500 million by 2030, 10 years. Population 7.5 billion today. How do you lose 7 billion people? 500 million. Go from 7.5 to 500 million in 10 years, when the life expectancy is going up every year. It doesn't happen unless there's bad things going on, unless they have bad intentions. And we know they did. And it's all going to come out. All of it. Everything. The alien technology, the whole history behind our interactions with alien beings. It's like, I don't know, every science fiction movie you ever saw, Star Wars, Star Trek, and much more. But it's all good, guys. There's nothing to, it's been around for a long time now, and we're still here. It only gets better when we remove the evil from the world. And that's what's going on right now. That's what the FISA, all of the theatrics you see in Washington right now that I'm not going to talk about anymore, because it's a distraction. All of that is a distraction. The mainstream media is run by the CIA. Project Mockingbird started back in the 40s. They've been controlling the media, thought shaping us. It's obvious once you step back and look. Use your critical thinking skills, your discernment. Most important tools you're going to have, guys, over the next 2 years. Critical thinking skills and discernment. There's a lot of stuff coming, I think. They're going to throw some curveballs at us. We've got to have an open mind and be using our heads. Don't take anything at face value. Question everything. Question me. Prove me wrong. It's a good exercise. What you're going to find is I'm right. And I've been right about everything I've said, except for the timing. And, in my defense, I'm always going to be early, guys. You can't be late if you're a watchman. It does you no good to tell them 2 minutes after the fact. To be prepared, it has to be early. But everything else, the swamp going down, the economy collapsing, the satanic pedophiles being eradicated from the face of the earth, either executed or locked up for the rest of their lives. It's all happening. Look at the Epstein case. Look at the Nexium case. Look at who went to Pedo Island. Clinton, the Pope, Prince Andrew, all went to Pedo Island. Come on. Really? These are all facts. Believe it or not, but it doesn't cost you anything to get prepared. The extra food you can always eat. The silver and Litecoin are great investments. It's a no-lose situation, but you lose everything if you don't listen. Litecoin and silver are insurance against what's coming. They're going to protect you. $500, $250 each, $250 in Litecoin, $250 in silver will cover, I believe, everything that you lose. And you could have whatever, $1 million. 500 today in Litecoin and silver will cover that multiplied many times. Cryptocurrencies are the future of money. Plain and simple. Just think about this. When the banks close and all your money's stolen, they changed the laws 2 years ago. Might be close to 3 now. When a bank goes belly up, your deposit is considered a loan to the bank, which means you go to the end of the line as far as creditors are concerned, which means you'll be lucky to get pennies on the dollar if you get anything at all when the banks go down, and they are going down. They're all broke. The central banks are broke all around the world. Countries are broke. Worldwide record debt. It's not getting paid back. And what's happening is it's starting to crush the system. It's become so overwhelming that the Fed had to just print another $500 billion, I think, in 3 months since September to cover all the shorts. What's it going to be in 3 more months? $1 trillion? 2, 3? It can't keep going on, guys. It's drowning under its own weight. It can't support it anymore. It's got too big. The party's over. They're going to keep printing money. If they go that route, we're going to have hyperinflation, which means it's going to take a wheelbarrow full of cash to buy a loaf of bread. Look at Zimbabwe. Look at Weimar Germany. Look at Venezuela. It happens everywhere where you try and print yourself out of a problem. It doesn't work. It's a mathematical certainty. The economy's coming down no matter what anybody does. So be prepared for it. That's going to be, I think, if President Trump does his job, and I think he is, based on what he's done so far, been brilliant. The financial strain is going to be the hardest part of going through this. If I'm correct, and President Trump does keep the power on in the stores full of food, the biggest hardships are going to come from the pressures over money. And those are wiped out with a $500 investment. And, the more... Listen, this is the way I look at it. You leave it in the bank's going to get it. I've got mine in physical silver and Litecoin. I've got coins in Coinbase. I can transfer out of Coinbase into my bank account, cash into my bank account on the same day. If I make a transaction at 7 in the morning at Coinbase and sell some Litecoin, I can have that cash in my account that afternoon. So why leave it in the bank? It's foolish. It's foolish, especially when you know now that you've been warned. You'll kick yourself if you don't protect yourself. It's not hard. Everybody that's watching could have it all done tonight, by the end of the night. It takes maybe a half an hour if you've got the right bank account. Here's the other thing. If you're going to open a Coinbase account, which you're going to have to do if you want to buy Litecoin, you've got to have a big bank. You can't have a little credit union or a small local bank out in the country. There's got to be Chase, Wells Fargo. If you don't bank with them currently, you're going to want to go to wherever the nearest town that has one, take whatever money out of the bank, your bank, make that deposit of whatever you want your investment to be in Chase or Wells Fargo. It doesn't make any difference. I think Chase, because I think they're going to be the last one standing, and that's a good thing if you got your money there. So that's why my money's at Chase. What I have in the bank, like right now, it's probably only $40. But make it work for you. Don't make it work for them. And don't think that I'm like somehow trying to badmouth President Trump or undermine what he's doing, blah, 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 blah. Listen, there's no bigger supporter of President Trump. I 1000% support President Trump. He's doing what he has to do right now to get us through the most difficult time in American history. People have no idea what this man has had to go through. When he took office, there were more globalists in our government than there were patriots. And globalists in our government, as you will learn if you don't know already, they're traitors. They're part of the satanic pedophile ring, the elite, the Illuminati, the cabal, whatever you want to call them. They're responsible for every war in the last 300 years, every terrorist attack, every school shooting. They live to create fear and death and suffering and chaos. And they make money on all of it. And their goal was to take over the world. And that's what they were doing. And they were this close. I'm telling you. Thank God for our military, General Flynn, Admiral Rogers. Admiral Rogers is will go down as one of America's greatest heroes. He tipped President Trump off to what was going on right away, as soon as he could. And now we're here, guys. We're at the finish line. It's close. This stuff could go down any day. Don't be surprised if tomorrow morning you wake up and the banks are closed. I mean, that's how close we are. That's how desperate the situation is around the world. And this is a worldwide thing, guys. There's no one in the world that's going to escape this. 1929, mostly an American event, the Great Depression. Only 30% of Americans were impacted in 1929, and probably 5% of the rest of the world. What's coming this time will impact everybody in the world. Everyone's going to lose something. I mean, if you live in a first world country, you're going to lose something. You're going to lose your pension. You're going to lose your bank account. You're going to lose value in your home. The bubbles are collapsing. We're going to go back to real prices, not these crazy, $1 million for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home in Menlo Park, California. 900 square feet. It's ridiculous. We're going back to normal. It's a good thing. It's going to be awesome. We're headed into the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. Man's greatest age is coming. Think about it. Just think about it. Think about removing all this evil that I just talked about, gone, 90% of it, and the way growing, exploding. God told me he wants the way in place so when the Catholic Church comes down, and it's coming down this year, the way will be there to fill the void of the Catholic Church. The church that Jesus wanted 2,000 years ago is going to be here to fill the void when the Catholic Church crumbles under its own weight. It's coming down from the inside. People have accused me of trying to destroy the Catholic Church. Hey, listen, I'm here to do God's work. I'm a messenger. I have no love for the Catholic Church. They're corrupt. It's evil. The things they do are evil. Child sex trafficking. The number one moneymaker for the Vatican. All going to come out. Look at Research what the Pope's red shoes are about. These people are sick, and they're all going down, and it's happening now. It's happening this year. This all happens before the 2020 election. I think it's got to happen before summer. They can't let it go past the election because the natives are getting restless. The conservatives are chomping at the bit right now, wanting this to go down. You know, they know these people are guilty, and they're getting pissed that they're not in prison yet. Now, I understand why. You know, President Trump couldn't do this 2 years ago. We weren't ready for it. There were too many threats. Two reasons, basically. There were too many threats that the deep state still had. They had nuclear weapons, guys. And the public wasn't ready for it. You know, if he would have tried something right off the bat, the liberals would have gone crazy with panic. He had to win them over. He had to show the world that he wasn't the crazy guy the CIA Mockingbird media was making him out to be. And now the world sees who he is. This guy is a rock star around the world. Just wait until he destroys the satanic pedophile ring, the worldwide satanic pedophile ring. The world is going to unite behind President Trump. Mark my words. He's going to win. He's going to win 90% of the vote in the 2020 election. Write it down. I have lost hundreds of friends in the Bay Area here. I live 25 miles from San Francisco. All of them, you know, diehard liberal Democrats. When the satanic pedophile ring is exposed, and people see the Hillary Clinton snuff video, frazzle drip. It's on the dark web right now. Hillary Clinton sexually assaulting, torturing, and murdering an 8-year-old girl, and Uma Abedin. I don't know a single Democrat that will ever vote Democrat again, because they're basically good people that were ignorant to what's really been going on. But once they find out, they're not going to go along with it. The CIA's done numbers on this. Only 3 to 5% of the population would go along with that normalization of what these people are doing. And you know, that's kind of what they tried to do with the Ricky Gervais thing on Golden Globes, his monologue. I think they let him do that. They could have stopped him from that monologue. They could have fired him. You know, that wasn't like he came out and fooled them, that he, you know, made that up on the spot or was hiding it from them. They had the lawyers looking at that monologue for a couple of weeks, I think, to make sure that they could say everything that he wanted to say. And of course, he could say it, but you know, the long run, these guys can't do anything right. Nothing they can do now is going to change the course of this. God's plan is happening. Days or weeks, guys, not months or years. So don't procrastinate. Don't wait. Red pilling and prepping. That's what we're doing until the shit hits the fan. Whenever that is. And, you know, we need to use every day. Every day is another opportunity to get more people red-pilled and prepped. So it's crunch time, guys. We need to keep pushing. Yeah, but anybody wants to argue about the merits of the way, what God wants, I'm here, because you cannot fault this. Can't fault it. You can't fault telling the truth all the time, doing the right thing every time. living your life in the service of others. This doesn't have to be rocket science. It's pretty straightforward. We all know the difference between right and wrong. Now, there's some things that are like little things, maybe jaywalking, you know what I'm talking about, that, do what you think's right. God's not going to hold it against you if you're wrong. The big things are obvious, right? Murder and theft and adultery. We shouldn't be doing those things. We don't need a priest to tell us that, right? We have each other to lean on. That's the whole point of this. We're all the church. The church is in all of us. When you're living your life, trying to be a better person every day, trying to tell the truth every time, trying to do the right thing every time, living your life in the service of others, you can't knock it. It's really the best religion in the world. And I think that's why God keeps telling me this is going to be huge, guys. I believe it. I see it. I see it coming. The Catholics, listen, I got a lot of sympathy for the Catholics. Just think about it. Just think about the people that have hung in there through all of the crap the last 50 years that they've pulled with this pedophilia. And now when it goes down, they're going to need a place to go. They're going to need a place to seek comfort, to look for answers, to figure out what the hell happened. And that's what we're going to be here for. And it's going to take off like wildfire, guys. Anybody that has any questions, message me. It's where religion's going in the world, I think, guys. And it's a thing. God's not happy. He's not happy with the Catholic Church. Not really happy with any church. Not happy with how we use the Bible to beat each other to death with. We aren't judges. It's not our job to be judging. That's God's job. And I hear Christians every day quote me passages from the Bible that allows them to attack their neighbors. No. You want to help them? Help them. You don't attack them, and you don't use the Bible as a weapon. God's not happy. Okay. Brother Dale, what's up? Danielle, how are you? Keith? Christine, how are you? Christine's been on a roll. Red pilling right and left. David, what's up? Earl Kuhn, world champion saddle bronc rider. How you doing, Earl? Mike, Susie, James, Dusty, what's up? Kevin, Susan, April, hello? Cousin Bill. The Wild Man, Larry Sandvik, Bareback Riding Machine. How you doing, Larry? Joy, Shelly, Nadine, how you doing? Thank you, David. Remember, guys, how we pay it forward now is by get out there pushing, by sharing these live chats, sharing articles and videos. Got to keep the pressure on. Danielle's wanting to know if I've heard anything about the post office. Yeah, I have heard anything about the post office. They deliver mail. What are you talking about? Todd, how you doing? Rita, hello. Wells Fargo's good. Rita's got Wells Fargo. Tessie, what did I tell you about the impeachment? I'm not talking about it. Don't ask any questions about the impeachment. I'm not answering them. Listen, guys. Let me make this as simple as I can. To impeach a United States president, you have to have a high crime or a misdemeanor. They have neither. Neither one of their articles meet the minimum requirements for impeachment. This is a circus. It's a waste of money. It's a distraction. Quit watching it. Quit talking about it. Quit talking about Virginia. It's another distraction. If you're following that stuff, you're playing right into the deep state's hands. Turn off the mainstream media. Turn it off. Quit watching. Turn it off. You want to know, you want good information? Get on the internet. Get on YouTube. Go to my page. Look at all the articles and videos I've posted the last 5 years. That'll keep you busy for a while. Trust me. I'm saving you hundreds of hours weeding out the trolls, because that's the biggest problem when you just start out. You don't know who's good and who isn't. And it takes you weeks, if you're lucky, maybe months to figure it out. I've already done that for you. Donna, hello? Don't poke the bear. The post office? You know what? Did somebody mention that on the chat here? God, that's, oh man. Danielle's saying that the post office is in the Red Shoe Club, and everybody. Well, hell, I'm just going to tell you. So the Pope's red shoes are supposed to be made from the skin of children. That's the red shoe story. Think about that. Randy, how you doing? Joy, how are you? Trust me, Schiff, Pelosi, Schumer, Feinstein, there's going to be hundreds in Washington. There's 140,000 sealed indictments right now, guys, so a lot of them are going down. Eric, what's up? Susan, hello. What else I see there? God's plan, guys. This is God's plan. Go with it. It's going to be awesome. Trust me. No fear. Nothing to fear here. Yeah, and we got the way challenge going right now, guys. I'm challenging everyone that watches this. 1 week. Live your life the way. Do the right thing every time. Tell the truth every time. You know, we make excuses a lot of times to tell a lie or a half lie because we're going to, because we don't want to start a fight or whatever the reason. It's crap. You'll be amazed. The next time you're faced with a decision like that, do the right thing. Tell the truth, even though it might cause an argument, and then watch how it turns out. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed how well it turns out. All of those negative thoughts you had about all the bad things that could go wrong usually never materialize. And trust me, you'll feel a lot better about the way you're living your life at the end of the week. If you don't, okay, I've noticed a change from day one. See, Danielle, there you go. This is a good example. Danielle, late for work, didn't hear the alarm. She told the truth. Instead of making up some bullshit excuse of, oh, I got a flat tire, the car wouldn't start, or, tell the truth. You'll be amazed. Please try it. Brother Dale. Yeah, the thing about the Bible is you can come up with a passage to support almost any angle. Um, it's contradictory in many cases. And listen, here's my I'm just gonna lay it out for you guys. First of all, you got to understand the history of the Bible. Most people don't have a clue where the Bible came from. The Bible was assembled in 330 AD at the Council of Nicaea by Emperor Constantine. An emperor, now, who is one of the guys, a globalist. He would be a globalist today, a satanic pedophile today. That's the guy who decided what went in the Bible. Think about that for a second. These are the same people that are torturing, murdering children. These are the same people that created the internet, Facebook, Twitter, to control us. The same reason I believe they created the Bible. Now, God, still, just like God did with the internet and social media, we are turning it back on them. He made them put enough truth in the Bible so that we're strong enough at this point in time, when it's time to take them down, that we're still standing. Even with the onslaught that we faced the last 100 years, we're still here. And we're going to win this thing. Good is going to defeat evil. That's why I say, keep an open mind. Use your critical thinking skills. Use discernment. You can't go wrong when you're living your life the way. You can still read the Bible. Don't use it as a club. Use it as a book of comfort. I believe we're going to know the truth in the next 10 years. And maybe even hear it from God's own lips. I think that this decade, God might be coming back. I've held off a long time on talking about this because, you want to be sure. And I'm as sure as I can be without it happening. Just everything in me, the messages I'm getting. There's a lot of good things coming, guys. That's the other thing. There's a lot of gloom and doom in the Bible that God doesn't agree with. Jesus, again, I can't say enough. Jesus, 2,000 years ago, his church was the way. I don't think I need to say anything else. It's that simple. Live your life in the service of others. Do the right thing. Tell the truth. Simple. Not rocket science. But they don't want it simple. They want it complicated. They want us to believe that we need them to guide us. We don't. We don't need a pope or a bishop or a priest to tell us what's right or wrong. We know that. We don't need them taking our money and sending it to Italy or wherever else they're going to send it. Keep it in your neighborhoods. Put it in the hands of the needy. That alone is worth as much as whatever it is you're giving them. That contact, that they see that someone cares enough about them to make that effort to give them something they didn't have to give them. Maybe wasn't asked for. Hopefully wasn't asked for. That we're there ahead of them having to ask. That's the goal of the Watchmen. We're already got the website up and running. Well, or it will be by next week. We're going to have all sorts of resources, guys. And basically, how I see this operating is, we are going to get this movement going. I don't want to be a pope. I don't want to be a priest. I'm not a preacher. We're going to let it go. We'll be here as a resource with ideas about different projects, possibly having funding for people that have ideas but don't have the backing for it. We're going to make this thing work. We're going to work together to make our country a better place. It's what we've always done in the past. It's what's going to get us through this now. Pulling together. The thing that scares the hell out of the deep state and the globalist is the people of the world uniting, and you can see it happening all over the world. People are fed up. People know the truth now. The plan is working. It's happening, guys. Get on board. Get prepared. Keep red pilling. Libby has a swab account. Get rid of those stocks. Stocks and bonds, guys. Gonna crash. Get your money out. Get it into hard assets. Get it outside the system. Anything in the system is probably going to zero. Anything on paper. Outside the system means gold, silver, or cryptocurrencies. For us, it's silver and Litecoin. You can put your money wherever you want, guys. I'm just telling you what God showed me, and all of my research backs up 100% what God showed me. President Trump is guided and protected by God. The hand of God is on President Trump. Not a hair on his head will be harmed. Libby wants to know if it's stable. If you're talking about cryptocurrencies, Litecoin is a hell of a lot more stable than the US dollar or any bank in the world today. Listen, whether you guys think I'm crazy or not, you're crazy with these kind of returns and what's going on around the world if you don't throw $100 at this in Litecoin. You're crazy. You'll kick yourself the rest of your life if you heard this message tonight and you don't do anything. And next week, the whole thing goes to hell. You could have been a millionaire in 4 years, and instead you're scrambling. There's a lot of negative information out there that we really don't have to get into. That's why I'm kind of laying off the details unless somebody asks about the pedophilia, because, we got enough to get through the next year. And it's gonna come out how it comes out, guys. As far as the horror story stuff with the kids and the satanic pedophiles. Thanks, David. Fear not, God is in control. That's right, Keith. Yeah, I listen, guys. I like to refer new members to my personal page, because what happens, we've got a lot of people posting on the Watchmen page, and a lot of people that are still a little bit green. So sometimes stuff gets on the page that I wouldn't post. Let's put it that way. If you go to my page, you're going to see my post, and you're going to know that it's something that at least want you guys to see. Now, I don't agree with everything I post 100%. There's a lot of these guys that get it half right. But if I put it up there, there's a reason I put it up there. Something that I want you guys to see. Okay, Susie's going to donate a Litecoin to the member who red pills the most people. Thank you, Susie. That was nice of you. Who's going to keep track? How is that going to work? JC, another world champion, all-around cowboy, bareback rider, and steer wrestler. Jimmy Cleveland. Truth will set you free. All right, who are we talking about now? Bible and impeachment? Are you talking about me? Me going kooky? I hope you're not talking about me. We're all going to see this, guys. You know, if we can last another year, I think we're all going to see this. Thank you, James. The way, the truth, the life. Well, remember, before Constantine was the Pope, he was the Emperor. Yeah, it's funny how that works. You know, it's manipulated, guys. The world has been manipulated to control us, to lead us down the wrong path. Keep an open mind. Use your critical thinking skills. Don't believe a word I tell you. Prove me wrong. Listen, yeah, Danielle has the right attitude here. Listen, I would not change places with anybody at any time in history. This is the greatest time to be alive in human history. They're going to talk about this 10 years for thousands of years. We're on the cusp of man's greatest accomplishment, taking the world back from the greatest evil ever known. There are 1,000 to 1 odds that we could do this. Should have never happened. And it's really over. It's just a mop-up. We all should be excited about this. Be yourself. Tell the truth. Be good to people. It's that simple. No, yeah, guys, we're all, I mean, that's part of it. We're all God's children. You know, we're all the church. We're all connected, whether we want to admit it or not. And the more you, and guys, honestly, the world is experiencing a raising of its consciousness. It's happening. I see it. That's why we're getting all these new members, because everybody's waking up. It's happening. Rita, good job. Got money out of that 401k. Well, you want some cash. Libby's asking about cash. I would probably have at least $500 in cash. But remember, eventually that's going to be worthless also. So don't have a lot, because it might only be a few weeks before they get, because they're going to roll out a gold-backed currency. So again, I would have most, maybe 500 in cash, whatever you need in the bank, and then the rest in Litecoin and silver. However you want to split it up. Call me if you have any questions. Let's see. Some of us still married. Okay. Have to have two yes. Well, I think what Susie's talking about is having both the husband and wife on board with this, which I'll tell you, I agree with 100%. Um, but here's the problem, though, guys. This could be a pitfall that you guys all need to be aware of. I could see problems for a husband and wife who made these investments based on what they heard here, and then one party thinking that, well, you know what, we really don't need to pay anything forward. We need to keep it all. That could be a problem. Just saying, God's watching. I won't say a peep about it. That's between you and God, but be careful. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're a couple, you gotta agree on what you're going to do with your money. But to each his own. It's an honor system. Whatever you guys want to do is what you do. Like I said, it's between you and God. You got nothing to lose, guys. I mean, that's the whole point. Extra food, you're going to eat. Silver and Litecoin are awesome investments. So if nothing happens, you've lost nothing. You've gained something in your investments. It's no lose, guys. Don't procrastinate. Yeah, no, guys. Anytime you make a transfer, you'll get charged a fee. That's part of the system, you know. Um, yeah, and for most of us, we won't ever have. I mean, a transfer will be a one or two time thing, right? You'll very seldom transfer. I do it more often because of the system that I've set up, just because I'm trying to protect my assets. But you guys don't have to do that. You know, I'm in a little bit different situation now because of my stroke and health and all that stuff. I'm not working, so I'm drawing on Litecoin. Um, but you guys really should never have to transfer because once you get it, you don't want to trade it. You buy what you want to buy, and it sits there. Costs you nothing. You really, Sandy, and it's Litecoin, not Bitcoin. Don't you can buy Bitcoin. You're gonna make a lot more money if you buy Litecoin. Uh, you have to have one of those big banks to open a Coinbase account, and they're the best exchange. I think it's worth the hassle of opening a new account because I actually don't know if any exchanges will do business with small banks. They don't understand cryptocurrencies and they're just a pain to work with. So they pretty much cut them out. It's up to you guys. If you can't, if you want to go all silver, but I really think you're making a mistake if you don't follow through and get some Litecoin. You're going to regret it. I really believe it. Great awakening is happening, guys. Follow Q. Anybody that thinks Q is a LARP hasn't done enough homework. Q is for real. Mark, how you doing? Okay, guys. Um, that's all the questions. Remember, stay positive out there. Get your last minute stuff done. Keep pushing forward. Keep doing what you're doing. It's going great, guys. We're getting more people every day. Keep pushing. We're almost there. I think I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Remember, fear not. God and President Trump are 1,000% in control. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5 Pacific. God bless.